Hi, friends. Welcome to The Catch Up, a podcast where I meet and explore the thoughts of some cool-ass people. Support your boy by hitting that subscribe button and tap that like button if and only if you like the video. Let's get right to it.
Sumo! What Sumo? Let's go!
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not getting sleep. Okay,
Ready?
ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back to The Catch Up with Bryan, Sumo, Sumardi, where I feed my curiosity by meeting some cool-ass people. I have a returning guest, Miguel Ortiz.
Yo.
I don't remember what episode he was on. But today's guest, Mr. Tabot Ako.
Hey.
Cheers to you, brother.
Hey, cheers, bro.
Fellow Marine from Bravo Company, from our boy, my previous unit. You're still in, right?
Yeah, I'm still in.
Yeah.
Still got a little bit of time.
Do you want to
I'll
stay
probably
in?
stay in, though.
Yeah?
I'll
I
probably
can see you doing that.
Or go to National Guard.
I'm iffy if I want to go back. I still want to take a full year
Yeah.
to, like, chill.
Kind of soak it up.
Yeah.
How much
time do you have left?
Like a year and some change. 6-year contracts. Yeah.
I'm only, I got out April, so May, June, July, August, September. I'm only 5 months out. I feel like it's been longer, though.
I've been living it up. It feels
Yeah.
that last 2 years before you get fully off contract, it feels amazing. You're like, there's so much weight is off your shoulders.
Yeah.
But a year and a half before you go IR, dude, it goes by like that.
Yeah, no, I bet.
You shitting and complaining like, man, I hate this place, and then like, freaking 18 drills later, you're like, oh, that was fast.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, my active duty friends, they're getting ready to get out. Or they're already out.
Yeah, we're out, the 4-year guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, all the main guys that I was with are all out, and we still hang out. So
Yeah.
there was no reason for me to stay in that specific unit.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this Marine Corps. It's,
What units were you at in your time in?
I was in Anacostia
Okay.
at Bowling Air Force Base with Second Civil Affairs.
Oh, yeah.
So I was out there, and
You know a guy named Schmelik?
no smell it.
He
Yeah,
just came to Bravo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
no
I got
smell
that.
it. Yeah.
That's dope.
Remember one time we were down in Ocean City, and I asked a guy about his tattoo, and he told me he had a brother.
Yeah.
That's his
Well,
brother.
he got a
What?
Wait.
A
What
moto
type?
tat.
Oh, okay.
No, we met we saw a guy
Yeah.
with a tat, so we talked to him while he was playing volleyball.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that guy.
And it turns out that was Smelik's brother.
Oh, word.
I was like, what the
Bro,
fuck?
the world is
What
so small.
Yeah.
So
remember
small.
that.
That's why he's a good Marine. He's a really good Marine.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, he's
locked
good.
on.
He's high speed.
Calm guy?
Yeah. Yeah, we did, but
We need
didn't-
calm guys.
but at all unit, we didn't do any fucking calm, which is why I hate calm, because we didn't do any calm. Anytime I had calm work, I made one of the Lances or I hated that job. When it came to civil affairs, I was always up there.
Welcome to the chain of command.
You gotta delegate. I earned my rank.
Beautiful thing.
Okay, back to the schedule at hand.
Yeah.
Mr. Tabot Ako. I don't know. I just get into backgrounds of people. That's what
Go
I'll get
for it, bro.
into. You told me you were from Cameroon.
Yeah.
Were you born here?
No. I was born in Cameroon. Actually, my family moved here at I was 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Cameroon have their own language? Pardon my ignorance.
English and French.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's why you go to France a lot.
English and French, and then of course you got however many cultures. They have their own culture,
Different dialects?
specific languages. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you like doing civil affairs, so
Yeah.
but you only know Spanish and
Yeah, I know
Spanish, English.
but it helped out in Belize.
Oh yeah, that makes
Belize
sense.
Spanish helped out. I mean, everybody spoke English anyway.
Yeah.
But the only place that I went to where people didn't speak English that much was like Suriname. That's all by North Guyana.
What the hell is that? I don't even know where that's at.
It was over in South
Africa?
America.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's right above North Guyana. It's a small little country.
Okay. Dope.
Speak like Dutch and Surinamese and
A whole lot of languages. Man.
our chauffeur was our translator as well. But it's hard doing civil affairs because now instead of me talking to you and looking at your body posture, looking at your facial structure, see if anything changes when I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Now I gotta talk to my translator.
And then,
He has to relay. So I don't know what the hell he's just told you.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's relaying back to me.
Yeah.
I hate doing civil affairs through a translator because I don't really.
That's a nightmare.
I'm not really engaging as much.
Yeah.
When I was in Belize, civil affairs and speaking Spanish to people, they felt a lot more comfortable. I mean, they knew English, but when I spoke to them in Spanish, you kind of see that
they can relate.
Yeah, it was a little more. I was able to get a little further. It was nice. It was good to have.
Dope.
But that translators, man, don't work, man.
I wish we had more international
Me too.
ATs.
Me too.
All I remember is Morocco. That's the only thing. Other than that, we've always been 29 Palms or...
Because they always want to be cheap, too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But I've been seeing lately that you guys been going to, like, amusement parks or stuff like that. Like, what's going on?
Nah. That was just the mandatory fun. Family day.
My 6 years, we had no mandatory fun days.
Bro.
So my mandatory one day like old course.
Yeah, I was doing like that.
Old course with no gear.
Yeah.
Or like
Jeez.
what?
Like,
all of our freaking family days were like on the lawn, like out of the freaking motor pool.
I mean, we just had to blow up the kid stuff.
Yeah. Like it was
bouncing.
very. We didn't go anywhere fancy.
Yeah.
What the? And
I mean, it was just over in Frederick, that small spot.
Oh, I thought you guys went to like King's Dominion or something.
No way, bro.
Oh.
No
Okay, I was like, wait. What did I miss?
No, we drove 15 minutes up the road. I'm not sure what that park is, but not far from the Joe Center.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Let's get back to you in terms of like when you first moved here. What did you do? I see you were 9. You went straight to Baltimore.
Yeah. So I actually moved here 9 years old, living in Baltimore, in the Catonsville area.
Okay.
Yeah. So was I in the 5th grade?
Okay.
So getting transitioning into.
Is the school system similar, like kindergarten to 1st grade or 5th grade, and then 6th through 8th?
It's not, because over there,
Yeah.
I'd be in the 7th grade.
Oh.
At 9 years old.
So when do you start school? Like 5? Like regular here?
Yeah. It's.
But then you got like, speed up.
I think you probably started like 3 or 4.
Oh, so you start school earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're when you get over here, they move you 2 years back to your age group.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you were just smarter than everybody.
Yeah. I mean, naturally, because just simply because you go over different content,
Right?
Or more advanced content for the age group that they have here.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit dialing back, getting used to just culture shock.
Yeah.
Getting.
What was the biggest culture shock that you think? Because I've never been to Cameroon. Like, I don't even know the background of Cameroon.
Biggest culture shock is just getting used to the environment overall. The entire thing was,
So explain. Did you remember Cameroon a lot, or still?
Not a lot.
Really?
Not a lot. Yeah. I mean, I know that for example, my first sport, soccer.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You feel like you have a soccer
academic.
body. Yeah.
Yeah. First sport, soccer. And that's kind of how. Because for me, sports is one thing that you can go to anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's always going to be like some base.
Yeah,
there's
going to be a sport, and then that's how you get in with the the
community.
social crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you play soccer in Baltimore?
No.
I feel like there's no places
because
there. Unless you go like to some rec league.
Yeah, you join the rec leagues.
Yeah.
But if you play for school, then you kind of carry the team. Coming from somewhere that is predominantly a soccer country, or you'll carry the team and say, you go to an urban environment, nobody plays soccer there.
Right.
So if they do have a soccer team, you're going to carry the team.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that brings me into like, because you like carried a team, is that how you got into like military leadership, or is that how you got like thought about the military? Or no? How did you get into the military?
So I think the military is just something that I always wanted to do.
Okay.
You know, you see the movies, shooting guns, going to war.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like it's one of those things. You know, maybe for say what you feel like makes you a man, right?
Okay.
Or that's what
Masculine.
excites you the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you want to drive a manual car, ride a motorcycle, go to
adrenaline.
You know?
Anything that makes like rush.
So is that why specifically you chose the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Because before I didn't know about the Marine Corps.
Okay.
You know, I just like a lot of people, you think there's the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. You know, because someone's on the ground, that's the Army. Someone in the water, that's the Navy, and then the Air Force. That's how I feel like most people view the military. You know, and then found out about the Marines, and because actually I did a JROTC program, which was pretty new.
Okay.
New to me. You know,
that was like high school.
High school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. High school, you know, you guys like do, and then it was specifically Marine Corps JROTC. You know, so it kind of gives you an introduction to what the Marine Corps is and what they do. You know, so naturally,
so you learned like with the 14 leadership traits and
that stuff.
I forgot the other ones.
But general order.
The general order. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, you know, you learn that stuff, and you know, of course, just being in that program, I gained mentors. You know, naturally, and then they joined the Marine Corps, right?
Oh, so not really people who are already in the Marines, just people who are guiding you, like your pulley or your recruiting.
Like say when I got there, they had seniors, high school seniors that were.
For your JRT. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about the recruiting center.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, so one of the dudes that started mentoring me, he ends up joining the Marine Corps. You know? Eventually, when I joined the Marine Corps, I get to Paris Island, and he's my drill instructor.
What?
That's dope.
Yeah, small, and it's
what the.
Wait, so in 4 years he became a drill instructor? Because if he was a senior when you were a freshman,
I joined 2 years after I graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't join right out of high school.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But so, and it's funny because he was my mentor. You know, even throughout I was in college. Like, hey man, how's the Marine Corps? You know, how's everything going?
Yeah.
And he'd tell me about it. So eventually, when I enlisted, he had just graduated drill instructor school. So
that's so fast.
Yeah. Well, 6 years.
So he probably did 1 4-year active duty contract, and then he got the B-billet.
Yeah, he was probably in the middle of his second contract by the time I got there.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But still, I think that's fast. I don't know why. Because one of my boys who I went into boot camp with, he's on his second. He's either on his second or third. He might be second or third.
He's probably about
cycle.
to start his third enlistment. His third cycle as a drill instructor.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he just became the not the
like the heavy.
Was that the heavy? The one that does the drill? Actually does the drill?
Yeah.
Because he was killed for the past 2.
Yeah.
And then now he's the drill hat.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which was pretty interesting experience, you know. Before I got down there, I'm like, hey, I'm coming to Paris Island, you know. I told him and shit. And then he
he's like, what class are you?
Like, I didn't know you. Yeah.
Oh.
You know, he responds to the text, okay, cool, here's my address. Write me when you get down there, you know.
Yeah.
Tell me how you're fucking doing. Yeah, so then, what are the odds? We pick up.
Yeah.
And he walks out in the line, you know, and you remember as a little recruit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, holy shit. Like, this can't be happening right now. So, you know, and I thought I was going to get in trouble for knowing him. You know?
Was he your senior or no?
He that was his first cycle.
Oh,
so he was
kill hat.
his first cycle.
How was he getting smoked by him?
He would smoke me all the time.
Yeah.
Just all principle, he'd smoke me, you know. But fun experience. Even now, right now he's with the Silent Drill Platoon in DC.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
So 8th and 9th?
Yeah, he's assistant drill master.
Shit. That's some.
Wait, what's
you
his
ever
name?
go watch one of their shows?
That's Sergeant Spence.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he works with I think it's like a Gunny Calderon.
Yes, I see him on Instagram, and he like just coordinates everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
I've never seen one of their silent drills. Have you?
Yeah. Actually, the first time was 2 or 3 months ago. Okay. I went up to the Lincoln Memorial. It's the evening parade. It's a really good show. Yeah. If you guys get a chance to catch it next year, like it's a good show. You know, go grab.
It's
some
at the Lincoln.
After. Yeah.
I thought it was at the. I thought it was at 8th and 9th, like at the base.
Oh, so that's the that's like the Sunset Parade.
Yeah. So what are you talking about?
The evening parade. Yeah. So they do that. How they do it is, I think it's certain days out of the week. It's going to be at the Lincoln Memorial, and then later in the summer, it's at the barracks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like beginning of the season, like April-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
It's pretty cool. It's free.
I'd be down. Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, I get there early because it's a long line.
Really?
Yeah. People love seeing the Marines.
Yeah. It's a really good show, though. It's a really good show. I like it.
Okay.
The silent platoon is sick.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. It is.
I was watching something. I don't know. You probably watched it. Joe Rogan's podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Where he was talking about his phone, like how he doesn't wear a case.
And why he doesn't use a case.
He's like, yeah, just think of the military and their rifles. They throw it up in the air because you know what? They're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
It means they're proficient in it.
Right.
And they can, you know.
He was just flipping it, and I was like, oh, that's dope.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, brilliant dude.
Yeah.
Brilliant dude.
Are you into astrophysics?
I'm not, but
you learn the shit.
You know, I mean,
I just pick up so much shit from Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more on the I like the explanations and how they relate to how I can implement them.
Yeah.
You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Jordan Peterson, smart dude.
What's the biggest one that's like stuck to your head right now?
Jordan Peterson.
What specifically?
Jordan Peterson's theory on I want to say savagery and young men.
Savagery and young men?
Yes.
Elaborate.
So he talks about how currently it's kind of taboo for a young man to be too savage, you know, as far as how competitive he is.
Okay.
You know, like it's kind of almost taboo for a young man to be so competitive.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm gonna fuck this up because, you know, lost in translation.
Paraphrase, yeah.
Yeah. But essentially what he says is the most powerful of those people is ones who know that they're savages.
Yeah.
But they also know when to implement it and when to not.
To think of alphas, like what you like stereotypically think of alpha male, or what most people call toxic masculinity type of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the term toxic masculinity is skewed into being like that guy is too manly.
Yeah.
There's like extremes now. And
absolutely.
I feel like when you say it, because you're 21, 22?
24.
24. Okay, sorry. Well, yeah, I'm 26 and you're 28. Because I feel like when we grew up, even though it's just 2 years apart, and like us two and from you, like I feel like our age, like what I'm following now in terms of like savagery is like that was our regular.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like when I hear all this like what is it, social justice warriors, I'm like, damn. I wish you like saw us. Like we went to Seattle like last week, a couple weeks ago for our buddy's wedding.
Yeah, the first week of September.
Yeah, for the first week of September. And his friends, like his Seattle friends, and this is a guy that we grew up with. He was like our neighborhood friend. His Seattle friends were like, damn, like your friends are a bunch of hyenas.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, what do you guys do?
Oh my goodness.
Like we literally came home, like we're on the like at the airport, it was like, I wonder what they do when we're not here.
Yeah. Do they come out because we were there?
Yeah.
And how often do they go out when we're not there?
Because we went out, we partied, we went to the club, and we were just like, we had we had a normal night out. Like
everybody was there, everybody was vibing off one another.
Yeah.
It was great.
We were just dancing.
But if we were out of the picture, if the hyenas were not there,
it seemed like they were tame.
Yeah.
Or just
like you brought a certain excitement that they're not used to.
Yeah, like they're excited whenever they see us. So I'm just like, what's normal now? So I mean, I guess I want to ask you, like, what do you think is normal? Because I mean, like you're a Marine like us, so we have a different definition of savage.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, what do you think is normal, or what should be normal?
So I feel like it shouldn't be normal. Like your normal is as savage as you're willing to go.
Right.
You know, like you probably have friends because I see you work hard. You put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Fitness, your professional career, and of course like putting on a podcast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure maybe they might not say it, but you have a lot of friends that feel like, God damn, like you do a lot, man. How do you do it?
Yeah.
You know, how do you have the time to do it? But for you, that's your normal.
Right.
You know, for them, it's savage because they can't possibly imagine that.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, like for me, I honestly think this is what my tagline for the podcast. It's feed your curiosity. Like I am so curious about a lot of things, and this is why I have like I said earlier, like I know you know a lot about guns, and I eventually want to talk to you about that, like learn more. And I'm just like, well, tell me more. Like I didn't know this lifestyle. Because I don't think of it as savage, I just think it's different. Or it's not my norm. You know what I mean? Because, like, I grew up with my group of friends, and I didn't know any better, so, like, that was normal to me. So, like, now I'm talking to you, it's like, it's just like, what was a normal day? Because, like, you came from Cameroon at 9, you had your adjustment to Baltimore. Yeah. And I'm just like, and now you're in the military.
Right.
Like, that's 3 big life changes, I would say.
Absolutely. I want to say my normal is to be competitive. Okay. To always be competitive. And it's not something that I walk into a room and say, like, all right, who can I compete with? Yeah. You know, it's, for example, SOI, right?
So you're tactful, kind of what you're saying, too.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's, say, you went to SOI on the West Coast. Yeah. Right? And when you get there, you're like, God damn. I'm from Paris Island. These dudes have been hiking. You know, you hear about the microwave. You know, and then
I didn't even think of it like that. To be honest.
You know, but that's how I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? My challenge is to hang with the best hikers. You get what I'm saying? Really? But then eventually you learn that these guys they can't hike better than you. You know, but my point is wherever I go. It's my challenge is to hang with the top tier performers.
So you always want to be like above average.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, I always had trouble hiking. My biggest thing was hiking. Yeah. Like even in not boot camp really. Maybe my last one in boot camp, but I took the remedial for every hike, the 5, 10, 15, and 20.
That's not a remedial.
Yeah, I had a remedial because. The initial one, because most people didn't know about it. Yeah. Because when
know about what? There's no remedial. You do it, you don't do it.
Well, so I had to do everything twice.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Because legit, I fell so far behind that I got picked up towards the end of each.
It's the short legs.
Man. Yeah, it's the short legs.
Oh, yeah. It's hard.
Because I always worked out. Yeah, I worked out all the time, so my legs were always just thick. So it was even harder for me just to get by. Yeah. But it was because of the slinky effect. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The slinky effect fucked me.
You get to running.
Yeah, because I'm legit running 20K on the last one. But then once I was just me and maybe like 10 other guys, I could keep up. You keep me on a steady pace, I'm golden. But I remedialed everything. I was like, I'm not going to make it. I legit thought I wasn't going to make it. But for me, it was just like, I signed up for this. And I'm like, I just got to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was my mentality. My mentality, because I always got made fun of. I have one tattoo that says "Only the strong survive." Yeah. And that was from Allen Iverson. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. Like, it's either me quitting or I do it.
Exactly.
Because my thing was like, if your body is still able to move, you should still move.
Right.
Like, unless I'm broken, like legit broken, and I can't, which I will still find a way to get there, but I'll get it done. Yeah. And that was just my mentality. But I see your mentality like always being competitive.
Yeah, no, definitely.
How do you feel about being in a dark position? Like, this might get personal, but like, what do you think is like your darkest, I don't know, experience, and that you had to overcome?
Darkest experience is going through school.
Right? Like grade school?
No,
like college?
College. Going through college, but working. So most of my college career, I've been a full-time student, work full-time.
So you did 2 years of college before military,
yeah,
and then now you're still in college, or no?
No, I'm done now.
Okay.
Yeah, for now at least.
So did you get your undergrad yet, or bachelor's?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you get your bachelor's in?
Criminal justice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Okay, but go again to your dark.
Oh yeah,
experience.
So going through college, I work full time.
Yeah.
Went to school full time. So a lot of that is
work.
I work at night. I work 12-hour shifts a night.
Shit. What'd you do?
I used to do like contract security for the Coast Guard.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So you did overnight shifts.
Yep.
And then going directly to school.
Leave work, go to school. And then your classes are all day.
Yeah.
Get home, sleep for an hour, go back to work.
For an hour? 1 hour?
Yeah. Or don't sleep at all and go back to work.
Monday through Friday?
No, not. I think it was probably like 3 days on, 2 off. But that 3 days is a long fucking 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And yeah, so that just a constant grind, not sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
That makes you depressed. It's like, fuck.
And this
can't be it.
You're in drill too, right, at this point, already, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Damn, okay.
So
go ahead.
It's just dark because it's, you think to yourself like, this can't be it.
Sleep deprivation.
This ain't life. Like,
yeah.
But then eventually it becomes normal to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, this is my grind. Like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have to work nights anymore. I'm done. I'm out of school.
Right.
So
now this is easy to you.
Like, yeah. So now,
chill.
Now so now I work a 9 to 5. I'm off on weekends. It's like cake.
Yeah.
Certain shit that people might get stressed at. I'm like, well,
I was gonna ask you that. How do you feel about when people bitch about their like 9 to 5 or just a regular work day?
That
like I tune them out. Like,
no, me too. Like I'll tune it out, and I think the Marine Corps side just want to be like, get the fuck, But then I also got to realize, like, all right, it's we don't share the same experiences.
Yeah.
To you, this is the end of the world.
Yeah.
But to me, like, it's okay.
Right.
Because I'm sure you guys have dealt with shit that it's like, you think because you've been up for 24 hours that means like, all right, they're gonna put us to sleep any second now.
Yeah. And
then they wake you guys up to do some bullshit. And that's
boot
like,
camp, right?
Yeah, you feel me? So
that was boot camp. Like, to me, boot camp was honestly it was a joke to me. I was like,
right?
You never knew.
But that's normal. You can be up for 3 days and then still have to do some extra shit, and it's normal. Yeah. It's expected. Whereas in the civilian world,
it's like it's necessary almost 8 hours of sleep. Like, we need it.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
You see people break down over the smallest things. You know?
Okay, so you just knew that you wanted to finish school, and then you had to get through work.
Yeah.
It's a trial, basically. You know what I mean?
I'm like, I gotta grind this out. I knew it wasn't gonna be my forever.
Yeah.
But just while it's going on, it's like, fuck. This sucks, Yeah.
And how long did that last? You said
that was probably about. So that part was the hardest part. It's probably about a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even that long.
Yeah.
A year's not that bad.
About a year.
Okay. Damn. Well, so you did 2 years. Okay, 2 years of school, college before military, right?
Before the military.
So that was without drill and without the extra job, right? Or you just going? Okay. And then you came home. And then you did 1 year of drill,
I
and
think
you finished.
I was working somewhere else And then for my last year, my final year, that's when I was doing that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So was your plan to only do 2 years from the get-go?
No. So I always wanted to enlist, but then right out of high school, I didn't. You know, of course, you got the parents like try out college or you know. So then I did the 2 years. I'm like, all right, you know what? It's not a lot going on in the military right now.
Yeah.
I joined to possibly get deployed somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot going on. So, but if I join the reserves and something kicks off, I'll still have the opportunity
to go.
You know, because the way I see it, it's if it's you know serious, they'll send reserves as well.
Yeah.
You know. So on that note, I didn't think I was gonna miss out on anything. Just like I have friends who have been active duty for their 4 years.
Yeah.
And they haven't did anything, you know.
Wait, so when did you get in?
I got in 2014. 14 October.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 2 years after me. And then you got in
10.
10. Oh, I want to tap into you actually real quick. I never asked you that question. What do you think is your darkest time? Was it military or something else?
Probably my darkest time when I don't really think the military because it was always like a mental thing.
Yeah, because I knew it was a process.
Like fit wise, I was always capable physically.
Right.
So I don't think that was ever a dark moment there.
Yeah.
But I think I had a few dark moments in Virginia when I was going through like bad relationships and knowing what I know from my background and work background and background in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Seeing that I let somebody take advantage of me, so now I have incurred all these bills and expenses that somebody's got to pay.
Right.
You know? So I'm busting my ass working, trying just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So like literally, I was paying off. Like I had all my credit cards maxed. I was paying off the note, whatever that minimum was. So say the minimum was $100.
Yeah.
So I knew
you probably were paying interest, like you just paying.
I was paying interest like a motherfucker, but I knew. So my process was rent. The only I obviously had to be with cash in hand. Yeah. So that came out of my account, my actual checkings account.
Yeah.
But like groceries and gas, anything that I had to spend on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Whatever my amount was, say it was $100 on my Discover.
Yeah.
I would pay it so then it wouldn't be marked late.
Yeah.
But then I knew I had $100 to spend for the month.
Right.
And then it would be the same cycle.
For
like a year for what, 2.5 years? I was out there for 2.5 years. It's that same cycle, dude. I mean, it was I couldn't even do gas for a while.
Yeah.
Like I was tuna crackers. I had a dog. Like we had to eat. Like I think that was probably the roughest time, just because I was away from everybody. So it was like you know,
Virginia. Everyone's still back at Wheeling.
Yeah, everybody's still back here. So it felt stupid far. And I was just like, I didn't really, you know, I saw so much more from where I was at work. So it was working, but it's just. It wasn't enough to really put myself in a position to help others. And then I wasn't seeing my family as much, and they were struggling as well. So usually when I'm the go-to for them, I wasn't able to provide. I couldn't help out as much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my dark moments because I was struggling. I went from like, you know, spending like always being financially good before the Marine Corps, like. In the days I always had money, like I was always busting my ass. Yeah. To now, like I'm that guy with nothing. I'm like, damn. Yeah. So I'm glad I went down that path. Yeah. Because I got to experience and I got to learn how to deal with myself in the pocket versus always, you know, being able to support myself. Yeah. I wouldn't have gone through that struggle. Right. Right. So now I'm back on top. Now I'm like,
life is easy. Now,
but I know. If a crisis was to happen, I know how I would be able to handle it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm glad I got to go through that.
Yeah. 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 Honestly, I feel the same way. Like for me, like doing this business stuff, like what you were talking about, like how do I do it? Like I may always look composed, but then in my mind, I'm always freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, But you have to, because it's like, it's how we...
It's natural.
Right. It's
it
normal.
It would be unnatural to just like not even think about it. Like I think about it and I'm good now, but sometimes I'm like, damn, where's my money going? So then I go back and I'm like, damn, spent $175 this week on food.
Yeah.
I'm like,
club.
What the? No clubs. I don't even drink like that.
Like, honestly, like we're weird. It's me, it's us two, and one other of our friend. Like we go to the club and we try to spend nothing. Yeah.
I'll go spend zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
We buy each other drinks. Like it's your turn. It's
one round. All
right, we're done. Yeah, that's it. And then we just act a fool. But that's us normal. Like
and at the end of the night, we're like, how much you spend? $30.
Yeah.
How much you spend? $15.
Yeah.
Like damn, we be spending $100 a day.
Yeah, when you go to DC, I hear people spend like $100+. I'm like, how?
Like, how can you afford that? Like, I'm like, what are you doing that I'm not doing? Like, am I eating all my money? Like, how? Like, how do you spend that much and like you're good?
You also got some young people out here making some serious money.
I mean, I hear that.
Well, yeah, because they don't have these other expenses that everybody else might have. Yeah. You know, all these credit cards that after time you get, or a mortgage, or a kid, you know, and cars, whatever your hobby is,
motorcycles,
gear. Somebody's going to spend
those, bro.
all the money in the world because they don't got to pay gas.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or you know, this is still living at home, so they probably don't have to, you know, pay rent or anything. Something like that. That would be sweet.
Well, let's go back, Tab. I want to go back. So you were...
Yeah, sure thing, bro.
You were talking about... I need something else. So you went into the military thinking you had to get through it, right? Or that was your darkest experience. And to think... Did you try to do something to help out family? Because I think like the biggest fulfillment that like Miguel and I were thinking is to help someone else.
Okay. Did
you think of that at all too?
I didn't think that. Well, as far as joining the military.
Yeah, because you kind of said you wanted to join.
Family wise, or are you talking about my reason, like the reason why I chose to serve? Thanks, bro.
You can put it your own interpretation, but I'm thinking like, because one of the things that I've learned growing up in terms of fulfillment is to do something for others. That's like my lifelong goal. Like I don't think like too big, like too like wooey.
Yeah.
But it's just like I always knew that I had a bigger purpose in life because like when I think of the podcast too, is like I think what you were talking about with mentors. I always wish I had someone to mentor me, and I never had that. So now that I knew an option to mentor others, is like I'm gonna do it. Like a lot of people have a hard time asking people questions or just asking for help. So I'm like, hey, I met this guy. I feel like he has a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
He could mentor someone who's watching this. Whether it's now, whether it's 15 years, whether it's 50 years from now. And because of like social media, it's everlasting type of thing. Like it'll never be forgotten, or you can always find me type of thing, or find us. You know what I mean? So that was my big thing. Like, did you ever think about that, or military,
definitely.
or anything right now?
Definitely military and my civilian life.
Okay.
So military wise, the way that I view, serving in the military, is that of course you do that to serve others, protect and defend.
Okay.
Right. But also just
is that something you learned in JROTC?
No,
or just
I just
you knew that mentally.
I think that's just I've grown into that mindset.
Yeah.
Just throughout military service or whatever. And I think the unique position that we're in, as far as being in the service of the United States, right, is that the United States is involved all over the world.
Okay,
So of course there's the whole protect and defend aspect of
military
home.
Okay.
Homeland
security.
Homeland wise.
Okay.
But then also the United States being the police of the world.
Yeah.
So because all over the world, you have people who can't fight for themselves.
True, very true.
So I don't think I align with the viewpoint that we're strictly here for our own safety, and I feel like
in terms of the military or being in the U.S.
In terms of the military.
Oh, okay.
In terms of the military, I don't think that we're strictly here to serve the United States.
Yeah.
I think that wherever there's people in the world who can't fight for themselves,
right.
I'd be okay with going
protect
and dying
other
over
people.
There,
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you want to be like a guardian, like we think a guardian angel type of thing.
Yeah, you can call it that.
Yeah, okay.
You can call it that.
That's just like my interpretation. Yeah.
Yeah, you can call it that.
You might head out.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool.
I got one question though.
What's up, bro?
One question. One question before I go. Hopefully you guys didn't talk about this.
I don't know.
So 2 years of college.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you go officer?
True.
Instead of enlisted.
Because that would have. It was a faster route to
get in.
Yeah. It was a faster route to get in.
The debt program.
Yeah.
So it's faster to go enlisted or delay.
Yeah. No, it was faster to get in and to be in the reserves than it would take me to become an officer and be in the reserves.
Yeah.
I think their training pipeline is about 2 years.
Because by the time I got in, they were saying it was like a 2-year wait period to get active, because nobody wanted active duty at the time.
And then
it was still the same with you?
For me, it was from the time that you say go to OCS to the time that you come back, from TBS and all your officer schools.
Yeah.
To get to
a unit.
In my case, a unit, probably about 2 years. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's like, all right. That's just a lot longer of a wait than what I wanted to do, which was I already had 2 years of college done.
Yeah.
Go do the Marine Corps thing, come back, finish up, and have my degree.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I only have my associates, because by the time I did 2 years prior to enlisting, but when I got home, I did 1 semester to finish my associates, and then by the time I got to Maryland, because I was doing Montgomery College, I did community college. I had a government contracting job, and I was like, the reason why I'm in school was to get this job, and I'm like, why am I here? So I eventually was like, all right, I'm done. So I did like 2 months, maybe like 6 weeks of Maryland, and then I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
because I didn't see the worth in it. I really I love the experience. Like I love talking to college kids. I'm like, you guys are babies. When I was talking to you, it's like they think this shit is hard.
I wanted to go for this.
This is easy.
Experience.
Yeah, like when I think about frats, I just want to do like the crazy stuff.
I want to experience it, but then when you look at how much debt you accumulate after, and is it? I mean, honestly, is it worth it? Right?
No.
Is it worth it?
It's not. And now my civilian job right now.
Yeah.
Database engineer.
Solid.
It's like literally not what I went to school for. Mm-hmm. So it's like that tells you that the school aspect literally it doesn't.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think school is valuable for is if you're going to go into social sciences. Because that's an environment where you can discuss things with people and bounce ideas back and forth. I
was actually talking to my boy about that. Yeah. Anything STEM, it's science, technology, engineering, or mechanics.
Yeah.
Or mathematics, actually. Yeah.
Anything STEM you can learn. Without anyone.
Really?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
He's right.
Anything science? STEM you can literally learn from you in a book.
I'm taking you in. I want to go to school to cook.
You can learn STEM from you in a book, right?
Okay.
But there's just certain aspects of social sciences that requires you to bounce ideas back and forth with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like right now we're having a conversation and something's getting created.
Right.
Something that I can't create by myself.
Yeah.
But I can sit on the computer and
learn.
I can engineer something and bring it to life with just me and the computer.
I have the exact opposite of that. When I think of STEM, I think of innovation. So I think of like, I want to create something new. Mm-hmm. Anything that I want to create, I cannot do it by myself. But I think you're talking about like foundations.
Yeah, I'm just the objective view of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
When you're making it happen, it can be just you and the thing you're using to build it.
With your thoughts and like, all right, if I need to create B, I need to go through step A1, A2, A2, or whatever.
Exactly. And then it's
very systematic.
The steps to create it already exist.
Yeah.
So I don't have to bounce ideas back and forth with people.
You
know? Whereas in the social science, say you're trying to better a community.
Yeah.
You got to interact. You got to figure out, what's good. Who are the leaders?
Yeah.
How does this work? How do I get them to do this? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think college is valuable for. Is letting you bounce your ideas between people.
I completely agree. Because I think, I don't know, this is still like a thought and process, but my ideal is when I retire to go back to like community college and just like shoot ideas at these young kids.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, have you thought about this?
Hell yeah.
Like, it's so much easier if you guys had like a social media where you guys just matched with some type of algorithm. Like, talk to this person. You can.
Yeah.
How many apps actually started in college between bouncing ideas with one another?
Exactly.
Well, honestly, I thought it was all stealing. Because like when I think about like, not really. Oh, Apple, Steve Jobs, he did it by just like, I want to create something better than Microsoft. He wanted to compete. The thing about like Facebook, it was a guy from Harvard, Mark Zuckerberg. He was like, hey, I like your idea. It was the Winklevoss brothers, whatever, twins, and it was like, I see your idea, I can make it better. And then he actually did it and made it better and just stole their idea type of thing. You better head out?
Yeah, I gotta head out, guys.
Okay, no worries. Miguel's heading out.
Hey, nice meeting you.
Alright, good meeting, man. I'll see you
Yeah.
around, bro.
Rob, you want to come in?
Alright.
Bet. No worries, no worries. Welcome, Robbie Young. Since you missed all the intro, this is Mr. Tabot Ako.
Tabot.
What's up, man? Robin. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Robbie Young is usually my audio help guy.
Long bus ride.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We started out working together at a restaurant and became best friends.
Nice.
News and company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a different mix. We have three Marines, and then now we have 2 Marines and an audio guy.
Hell yeah.
It was kind of the same. Comms.
It's the same. There's no difference.
Okay, so this is gonna get goofy from here because I went pretty deep and talked about his like darkest spots, like
it's alright,
in
go
the
ahead.
military. Robbie's from Baltimore too, so
Not Liberty Heights. McCabe Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Damn, I actually forgot.
What's that, west or?
That's east. That's
Okay.
upper east.
East
Somebody
Florida.
correct me if I'm wrong. Because I haven't been there so long, I
right.
forgot.
Someone's gonna call you out, man.
I'm like,
you know from my hood.
looks like an abandoned ghost town there now. I'm kind of glad. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Baltimore, different beast.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
I'm from.
Where'd you grow up? In
I grew up West Baltimore.
West Baltimore.
Yeah, West
What
Baltimore.
part?
Yeah, what
So,
town,
um,
city?
Originally, not. So West Baltimore County, I should say. I moved in the city when I was older.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you stayed
West
there longer than me, yeah.
Yeah.
I stayed there till, what was it, 5, 7? And then...
Is West Baltimore what? Fells Point? Or not Fells Point, Fed Hill type of thing?
No. Well, Fed Hill's kind of central.
Oh.
The way I look at it, Fed Hill's central.
So you're like close to the airport? Like BWI?
No. So
That's more
right now, I'm over east. So
East.
close to.
Oh, what about where you grew up? That's what I...
Oh, where I grew up? Where I grew up was initially Catonsville.
Oh!
Yeah, initially I grew
Isn't
up
that
in
east?
Catonsville. No, that's west.
That's west.
That's west?
Yeah, and then from there I moved.
I'm thinking about Canton.
Oh, Canton.
Oh, okay.
That is weird. It's similar.
Yeah, okay. That's right. I was thinking Canton the whole time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
It's kind of weird that they're that similar.
But in Baltimore I stay in near Orleans Street, so that's over east by Johns Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
John
That's
Hopkins,
like
I'm over there by Edson, Bel Air Edson.
Yeah?
No, that's my new spot.
You're like 10 minutes down the road.
Bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like where the row house kind of end, and then I got like a single family house.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah. Trying to like do that white picket fence type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Live the American dream.
Step in the danger zone at your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if I want to, nah. This is what I was talking to you about. I think we were talking about savagery and Jordan Peterson, and what we think is savage being in the military is like
timid,
crazy of civilians. And then because you live in Baltimore, and I think you have a good perspective on this because what you think is crazy is like tame for most people, right?
I think I don't know. For me, it's always vice versa.
Right, because I'm saying like for you, it's tame what people think are crazy.
Oh yeah, true.
Because we were just talking about the same thing, and what I'm really trying to get is like why the change? Because you're the oldest, I think, out of all of us now.
Yeah,
and it's like, what happened in the next? I don't know. Tabott's 24. I'm 26. You're 28.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like...
I forgot my age, man.
I know. I said that on my Instagram story a couple of days ago. And I'm just like, what's changing? Like, why is the youth getting soft type of thing?
Oh, I don't know. I just think it has to do with... oh, man, I don't care. I'm about to get a lot of slack for this anyway. It's just how people are grown up now. And just mostly...
entitlement?
Not entitlement. Just what they're grown into. Like, the whole worldview and everything. Because think about it. When we were all growing up, it was, even if you were born, like, even if you were Generation Z, born in that late 2000, before 2000.
Okay.
What you grew up on was just, what you watched was just either like a man being a man or just very masculine, having masculine traits.
Yeah.
Or just somebody being creative for a while. It's just being true to yourself. So any TV show that you watch, the man would be himself.
I think that's maturity.
I don't know. I think that ties in with masculinity also, because a man that can speak his truth the whole time, I'm like, okay, it doesn't fall to the usual social norms of what a man is supposed to be.
But being yourself can also be like a feminine, like not feminine, but like a female could also be themselves, and that not necessarily be masculine, but still.
What I mean by
authentic, I think that's more authentic than.
What I mean by damn, I have to go deeper. What I mean by just being yourself, it's no matter what. I can't even explain this well yet.
You don't have to prove authority. That's the thing.
Yeah. You can just give off that drive, and we had examples of that in that early stages. Then now, since this is like more feminism things coming up, and you can't do this, can't do that. A child or somebody growing up in that's going to be like, feel a little emasculated, as certain is saying. So they just grow up a little timid and okay.
Well, to add on to give you perspective on Tabott too, like he was born in Cameroon. He came here when he was 9.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, did you feel, what was the social norm for you to be a man? Do you know what I mean? Like, what was the trials to be a man in Cameroon and then coming here? Because I remember you said it was like a social shock.
Yeah, no, it's still the same as I view it now. So, and the African culture puts a lot of weight on the male.
Yeah.
Not weight as in, I don't think it's
pressure.
negative.
Yeah.
Right. But the male child, just like in a lot of cultures, the male child has a lot of weight to carry.
Right.
Right. Because carries a family name, passes it on, and it's his responsibility to take care of the family that he starts, right? But also the family that is his siblings, and say your parents getting older.
Yeah.
So it's...
So you have to care about the youth and the old. Yeah. Because you think about your parents and your future children.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So just growing up, one of the things that I think about, or that I thought about subconsciously, is that, all right, when I get a career, I have to make enough money to take care of everyone.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's something that's, it's subconscious to think about.
Right.
It's not anything that I have to
put
effort into.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing for me to be like, all right, well, whatever I do for a profession has to be able to, I just have to be able to take care of this amount of people.
Take care of the tribe, basically.
Yeah, if my parents get sick, or you have to be there. There's no other person.
So I wanted to ask this question. I think I asked on my social media too. It's like, even though you think of you want to take care of everyone else, what is your process of thinking? It's either, and the two things that I give choice was self over tribe or tribe over self? Like, although your ultimate goal is tribe over self, like try to help the people around you or your at least immediate family, do you put yourself first, or do you, like, no matter what, if you were down, you would still give to your family type of thing?
Absolutely. But I think that you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. So do you think you're more self over tribe because of that?
I think it's a good balance, because I know that the ultimate goal is tribe. Right?
Okay, yeah.
But if I have to put tribe aside for the greater good, as in, hey, later down the line, I'll be able to provide more for tribe.
Right.
But right now, I have to get in that position. And that's the course of action that I
do
gotta
with
take.
self. And tribe is like the end game, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta play the chess game with that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You're playing that long term.
Yeah.
Got that long contract game.
So I was gonna ask. I never asked you. Do you read a lot? In terms of books or audiobooks?
I've read. So I've probably read a handful of books to completion in my entire lifetime.
Okay, but you're not a big fan of reading. Is that what I'm trying to say?
I think I have.
I'm not trying to interrogate you on this. It's like, do you read books?
No, I'm here for it, bro. I'm here.
Yeah.
I think that I bounce a lot from ideas.
Okay.
So
you develop your own personal thinking.
Yeah.
Through other people as well.
Yeah, and
I've
read books. I've read books and then not finished the last 10 pages.
All right, that makes sense.
Okay.
You get the concept, and then
you get the summary of the book.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, that's how that's gonna end.
Right.
But I like hearing people speak.
Yeah.
Hearing people speak is like, wow, like that. That's something that I can interact with. I can listen to.
Okay.
I listen to podcasts, and it's a lot different hearing someone speak than reading their book.
Right.
Example, you look at Marcus Luttrell, right? There's thousands of videos of him speaking on YouTube about his experience.
What was the movie again?
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor, yes. Okay.
Yeah. And when you watch him speak, you just take in a lot more than...
You take in the more emotion.
I take in a lot more than reading the book.
Right.
So you'll see where he gets choked up.
Yeah.
Because he's remembering something in a lot of detail.
Yeah.
So you see that happens.
You relate to emotions.
Yeah.
You find a lot of details in
right.
emotion. Okay.
It's like you can see that as it happens, and that's something like I get sucked into something like that.
Yeah.
If his tone changes because of he's thinking about it in real like extreme detail, and he's getting choked up. Yeah. And I catch those things really, really easily. It's easy for me to put myself in. When you tell a story, you want someone to imagine like they were there. Right. It's easier for me to be there when I'm watching it.
You can visualize and create the whole story in your head.
Oh yeah.
When they talk about it, and it appears more authentic. Yeah. That way.
Like I'll get books because I recognize that person like as a great intellectual.
The author.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jordan Peterson's was it 12
Rules of Life.
Yeah,
12 Rules of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read that maybe halfway through. But to me, even going into it, I'm like, Jordan Peterson's a fucking brilliant dude. Right. So
you respect his thoughts.
Yeah. I'll get the book and the book I think it symbolizes like, all right, like I'm preserving a piece of this dude's thoughts. Yeah. And his
I relate too. Like his book specifically, Jordan Peterson, I could not read in entirety. I had to listen to an audiobook, and I was in and out of it. Yeah. I would listen to it sometime in the background of like me just doing random stuff. And
books are, I don't know. I love
his dialect. His the way he speaks, or the way he writes.
He has very good diction and dialect, and I know if you ever see his podcast or not his podcast, his live talks, it always interests me.
His lectures,
his lectures.
College.
Yeah, when he goes really deep into it, he'll go so far deep. It'll be as though he's talking to himself, and he always does this. He says, "So when you try to build the concepts, and then it's funny because you'll see it. He'll have a realization of like, okay, bring the crowd into it. I gotta normalize it, and he's like,
Exactly.
like
he knows how to relate very well.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like you said. He catches himself where he realizes like, all right, I'm talking
too scientific.
I'm talking as if I'm talking with other intellectuals.
Yeah.
You know, at his level, and then he'll bring it back.
Yeah, it's so
and
cool.
break it down for you.
I think
and when
that
he
is
does
amazing.
That,
Yeah.
like, listen to him on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah,
you know, he's been there I think twice or 3 times.
Yeah, I think 3 honestly.
Both of those podcasts was like I was glued to it the entire time. You know?
Yeah, because he's a real empathetic person. Because when he hit, I'll say I admire when he admits his faults. Like he's not afraid to admit when.
He's not afraid to say, "I don't know."
Yeah,
that's what I love.
And he's not afraid to.
He's vulnerable
when
to
he's
that
wrong.
fact.
And when he's, like when he gives an answer and it was just pure emotion, he'll come back the next day and say, "You know, I want to apologize actually for doing that. Yeah, I let my emotions instead of
taking control of my speaking."
It's cool. Yeah, when people do that, I always think that's cool.
Yeah,
somebody can admit fault real quickly. Be like, all right, I'm wrong.
Yeah. Because I think things change so often.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I asked you for the book thing, because I think a book that you'd really benefit off of is a book that I'm like. To me, I like to do a lot of research, so I'm very logical thinking. So when it comes to feelings, I kind of push those to the side. I feel like not that feelings are insignificant, but to me, they skew logic.
Yeah.
And then for me, I like logic better.
Absolutely.
And that's just my personal thought. That's me being subjective about it. Tribes by Sebastian Junger.
Tribes.
Have you heard about that?
I didn't read Tribes by Sebastian Junger.
Yeah.
Right? But I read Restrepo.
Okay. I haven't heard that. By Sebastian Junger.
It's War. War by Sebastian Junger.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Dang, you got hyped. That was I love that.
Sebastian Junger is really big on the military. That's why I feel like you relate very well.
Yeah.
Tribes hit me hard because I listened to that one audiobook style, and that one was about 2, maybe 4 hours. So in my workday, I finished it in a day.
Yeah.
So I feel like.
Listen at work.
Yeah.
It's like no.
But that made a lot more relations to me, especially being in the military, to how people think in terms of communication and social acceptance. And I feel like I'd recommend that to you very highly. If you can get like Audible, yo, done deal. That's a book that
you don't even gotta pay for
talk
Audible.
about. Yeah, you get like a free trial. I think
just free trial and wait. I'll tell you after.
I think so. I hate to keep bringing this back to Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan's podcast.
He's very influential. I don't blame you.
when they're talking about tribes and tribalism.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan Peterson explains why people feel a lot of people have a fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
Right? And this blew my mind. He says, well, genetically, we were supposed to be in tribes of maybe 50 to 150.
Okay.
Right? And the only time that
you're subject to speak
in front of the whole is when
to make sure they don't kill you.
To make sure they don't push you out of the tribe.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's the only time where you have to be a testimonial to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. When you got to plead your case. You know? Whereas
why am I useful? This is why.
Yeah.
I can bring so much benefit to this tribe.
Exactly. I promise I'm not worthless, you know?
I don't think so.
But now since society has grown,
you're off the island.
whereas now it's like if you get in front of a lot of people, you better have something good to say.
Right.
You know, like as far as you're drawing their attention in, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like that fear of public speaking explanation. It's like, all right, you know, this dude's on another level.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And that same thing on tribalism. It's, I think you can't be married to your ideas.
I agree.
You absolutely cannot be married to your ideas. That's like, you know?
How come?
Because you have people all over the world that die and kill, you know, for their ideas, but it's nothing that's really proven. You know, a lot of people die and kill for ideas that have no backing behind it. You know, a lot of, say, if you're an extremist about whatever you're an extremist about.
Religion. What do you like? Religion.
Religion.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, there's religious extremists in almost every single religion. You know, and that's the prime example of you're willing to kill someone for something that we don't know, but because this is what your stance is on it, that they should die.
Are you blown? You see a little blown? My bad. I should have.
I mean, it was the last one.
I should have drank to keep in the spirit.
Yeah, you know.
Take a sip. I have to make everyone take a sip. Some good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Ooh, tastes like chocolate.
Do you want it now?
You ever drink Guinness?
No.
No? It's kind of tastes like a hard Guinness is what I like to.
I've never had Guinness, actually.
It's good stuff. Well, okay. Well, so...
No, but that's true. I see what you're saying. No,
yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I like it when people aren't too stuck on their ideas, but they can execute them. Mm-hmm. Like, not in a way of extremism, but when they create something out of the idea. I like that better than people just sticking too much to an idea.
Robbie's really big in manifest destiny. Mm-hmm. That's what I've learned. Manifestation of destiny. So, I think in terms of what the whole theory, I think 2018 especially was the year of very big identity politics. Mm-hmm. So how politics can get very skewed, extreme, or be very polarizing one way or the other. Well, what people may think, I find, is associated with their identity. Because, not to get political, but if I'm a Democrat, I have to think in a certain way. If you're a Republican, you have to think a certain way. But there are people who have shared values. Mm-hmm. And I like to bring up stuff like, if I was starving, if I was broke, and I wanted to feed, if I had kids and I wanted to feed my kids, I do not care about stealing. Exactly. Like if I were to steal food, I think that's socially acceptable because I want to feed my children.
Absolutely.
But in reality, or by law, by society, it's frowned upon because it's still stealing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's being able to face the facts or face my consequences. I will suffer the consequences because I know. Providing for your family. Yeah, I'm providing for my children. That type of thing.
Right.
Because it's always a fine line when it comes to right and wrong. It just depends what situation you're in. So I bring that to the fact that there's no black and white. I'm a fan of polarizing events, of people who are polarizing, whether you're 100% like pro whatever or pro the opposite, but there's also the fine line where you can flip sides.
Yeah.
Right.
And the people who are like, I cannot believe that some person did X, Y, and Z because they're some type of demographic, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Completely.
People are too focused on like political agendas and demographics, and nobody's looking at the third perspective. Like people are, I don't know. It annoys me to a point because it doesn't progress anything. Like it actually stagnates.
Innovation.
Yeah, innovation.
I honestly think it's all about innovation.
Yeah, because it's the same as if you're like, oh boy, I'm getting a promotion. Here we go. Finally got my job. And the guy's like, I'm a Democrat. You're like, well, I can't work with you because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That, to me, that stops your growth. If you're having that one little thing stop you from actually going up and you're like, I guess I got to quit now since he's I'm like, it always confuses me if the person's certain religion, certain like race or whatever. I'm like, what? That makes no sense. To me, I'm like, yo, I'm getting it done regardless. I don't care.
Yeah.
What or who you are, I'm getting it done.
Right.
That's it. That's my motto I live by.
Because I relate this. I think I talked to remember Baskerville.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had this conversation with Baskerville, and we kind of got to the same conclusion that being in the military, it kind of brings you into a certain mindset where you're stuck thinking one way, and that's the only way. Thinking like chain of command.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't like authority, but I feel like there's always should be the person to be like, hey, Staff Sergeant, do you mean like we should do maintenance after we go on this road march?
Yeah.
Why should we do maintenance before and then fuck it up and then come back? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then because Staff Sergeant said it from the
sense
CO.
Back to the situation.
Right, because it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
I think they do that though, just to mess with you more.
I think the military, like you said, does that, right?
Yeah.
But I think the military needs to work that way.
To test
just because
order
of
I
how
feel like it's just structure.
of how quickly things change.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier if the people are adaptable rather than spending time trying to determine if orders getting passed down,
right,
makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that even I'm guilty of this, even in the military, trying to make sense of things.
Right.
That's one of the biggest jokes in the military. Oh, yeah, you tried to make sense of it. That's why.
There's no way the military.
There's
no way we have to do that. That makes too much sense.
Yeah. No, but I think the military, it's
very counterintuitive.
Yeah, I think it works well for the military.
Yeah.
Reason being,
because
things change so rapidly that you can't try to make sense of the way you're doing something.
Do you remember what the main point of drill back in boot camp is? I don't know. They told me this.
The main point of drill is like moving troops from one place to the next place in an orderly fashion to build like the leader's confidence, to instill discipline in the individuals conducting drill, and then an opportunity to handle weapons.
That sounds very wordy. I mean, it's very detailed, but I like it. Yeah, for me, it was
like, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, like you read it off the script. But for me, it was like immediate obedience to orders.
That was the ditty for discipline.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I remember from.
Right.
That's what I think. So drill that's what I realized all throughout my 6 years of being with the unit, and I was like, okay, like I wasn't the type to question anything until I became an NCO, and then once I became an NCO, I was like, I have some say now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna speak my word, but I never spoke out in front of everybody. I always took Staff Sergeant to the side and be like, "What did you mean by this?"
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's always lost in translation or some type of communication, because there's always that one Marine to be like, well, I think we should do this.
Do they talk like that too?
Yeah, sometimes.
They always sound like that.
We have a bunch of characters.
They always sound like that.
Because he wants to sound so smart, and he's like, well, I think we should do it like this.
Shut the fuck
up. Especially when you do it like at Final Formation. It's like, why are you asking questions? Let's get the fuck out of here. Like, you do this on your own time, or else it's like...
motherfucker, ask me, and I'll fucking pass it up. Right? Yeah. Don't waste our time.
Chain of command, bro.
I love to watch it if he's there and he goes in the back and he just has a smirk like, I wasted their time again. This is my revenge. It's like, for what?
There's a couple guys who think like that. I know they think like that, but they don't think like that. Because they're just like, I thought this was an intelligent question.
Yeah.
I need to ask.
Thinking like it's the most, like, this question is about to blow everyone's mind.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to look so
they're
smart.
They're going to hold a parade for me after this.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh my God.
But
are you really going to... And then it turns out the CEO comes out and be like, another 15 minutes and just telling a story. I'm like, we've been here for like 18 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're done. We're done. Let me go home.
You know, back to the whole political tribalism thing.
Yeah, identity politics.
Yeah. It's like, you see it and it's so obvious.
Yeah.
And people show their bias so obviously.
Right.
You know, because you'll ask them about something and they don't know what it is, but they're for it. because that's what aligns with them.
Yes.
You know, like that's
you see that feeling.
Yeah.
When they're against it, they're just like they'll get annoyed instead of like keeping that third perspective. They'll be like,
right, you haven't heard about it,
but
but it doesn't align with what you align yourself with, so you're against it.
So I think that goes into the authenticity part. It's like when you see the kiss ass, you know the Marines who are like, yeah, he sounds right. Let's do what he says, and then you know behind his back is like he's talking shit, and I'm like, why the fuck did you just agree with him?
Yeah,
and then that's just like. Yeah, exactly the same look you just gave me. It's like, man, this motherfucker. But I don't know. It's like I'm all for someone to trying to progress in his career, but not at the benefit of others. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
you can't.
That pisses me off. Whether it's a little thing where like everyone gets fucked into a working party, or I don't know, something of that sort.
I think you can't sacrifice. You can't sacrifice advancement for order, you know?
Advancement for order. Oh, so selfish gain type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't, it's kind of, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater type analogy.
Yeah.
You know, you absolutely can't sacrifice order for advancement. You know, say if I make it up the chain really, really fast.
Yeah.
Right? But in the process, I showed that I was a really dishonest individual and I didn't have any honor, you know, and then I get to a position where people have to follow me and they don't want to, you know, and that you can't ask why.
Right.
You know?
Honestly, I wanna speak on that because like knowing you personally in our unit, you climbed the ranks very fast. You got meritorious twice?
No. Meritorious. I did. You're right.
Yeah, you did get twice.
Not in the. I think I picked up E3 and SOI meritorious.
Okay.
And then I picked up E4 meritorious and Bravo.
Right. Okay. And to speak on that, like for me not to know you at the time, because I knew you as like Q's friend. Like there was, I'm not gonna lie, there was a slight hate. I'm like, who is this guy? What kind of shit? What kind of shit is he doing?
Whose dick is he sucking?
Right.
Yo, why do you think that the first time?
You can blur that out if you want.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
I just realized that
it's just facts. No, because it's just like
it's valid.
If I don't know the facts,
funny. I'll let you finish though, and then I'll go back to my point.
Okay. I mean, if I don't know the facts, I just don't know. But go ahead.
Yeah, I found that funny every time you see somebody like either work out or whatever. Your first thought is always, "The fuck is he? Suck this guy."
This guy sucking.
Look, we were actually talking about this earlier. It was just like, Tabott is the guy who's very competitive.
Yeah.
And I think that's also me as well. Absolutely. In terms of competition. I was like, how is this guy doing whatever he's doing? But then one thing that I realized, and I bring to my own fault, was that like I wasn't too serious about my role. But once I became, I literally said, I'm going to say this on record, is that when I got promoted to corporal, I told my staff sergeant I didn't want to. I wanted to stay in weapons and I wanted to stay in lance because I didn't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
I felt like subconsciously, I felt like I didn't deserve it because I didn't want to take on that role. But once I was forced into that role, it was Staff Sergeant Passwaters at the time, now Gunny Passwaters. He literally said this before I walked out on the promotion. He was like, "You should be ashamed of yourself. It's like this should be an honor for you." And I was like, damn, I wish he never heard me say that because as soon as he said that, I proved the shit out of him wrong. Yeah. Because right before I left, I told him the reason why I've changed, I grew so much was because he said I was a disgrace to him. Yeah. Yeah. And then that's when I started sumo lifts. Yeah. Because the sumo lifts, the tagline for sumo lift was the first line of the NCO creed at the time, and that was to influence the old and teach the new. And I was like, I don't see myself being in the military forever, but I know I'm gonna change the lives of people that I ever meet. Right, absolutely. And that was my goal. So when when that I don't know, when me just reflecting on this thought was just like, I see you and I'm like, I'm proud of you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's like the big thing that I wanted to put out there, and that's why I wanted to put you on the podcast. It's like,
thanks, man.
Yeah, like legit, like
thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Because like I knew initially that it was all insecurities for me, but then I realized my truth was I never wanted to be this anyway, so I didn't deserve to be meritorious to hit this X, Y, and Z to climb up the ranks. Like I picked up sergeant a month after I got out.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
nice, bro.
Cool. Because I know if I picked up sergeant while I was in, I'd be like, nope. Can you like put me down? Let me be a corporal again. Because like I don't. I mean, I will like pick up the roles of the sergeant role, but I'd be like pissed, kind of. But that's just me knowing my own truth.
That's cool, though.
Yeah. Do you know how? Are you close to picking up sergeant?
I actually pick up this month.
Sick.
Yeah, so
I'm proud of you.
Next time,
Yeah.
thanks, man.
Yo,
next time
that's
I
dope.
go in, I get pinned. But when like
What does get pinned? You get
a new chevron.
Yeah.
You get a new little pin. Yeah, you get pinned. You literally get pinned.
I was like,
yeah. But like to speak on that,
yeah.
When it happened, so getting to the same unit that we're part of.
Yeah.
You of course like being young, you're like, you're trying to scope out how long it takes to get promoted.
Yeah.
You have a lot of drive because you just got out of schoolhouse.
Right.
So everybody does that.
Yeah.
And my overall consensus of being there is like, oh, all right, dudes on average like get promoted to E4, which is like it's kind of
your first leadership role.
You're not doing so much bitch work anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're more in a leadership role. You mentor.
You can need it to tape finally.
Yeah, you have some privileges.
Yeah.
So getting to the unit, I'm like, okay, it probably takes an average of about 3-4 years to get to that level.
Yeah.
Just scoping out, asking people, hey, how long have you been here? But I think I learned, something from that was always be ready
for your next role.
Yeah, just position yourself, even if it never comes. Position yourself that when it does come, you're ready for it.
Right.
So it came down to like, all right, hey, battalion's doing meritorious, promotions. And I'm thinking like, all right, whatever, I'll put in for it. Like, I don't have anything to lose, But what I think counts is you have to buy in.
Commit.
You have to buy into the things that we sometimes think are bullshit.
Right.
You have to buy into how the Marine Corps thinks that, this is how you be a best Marine.
Right.
Like you got to buy into it. And I wasn't doing anything extra, right? But high PFT, high CFT, good shooting score, and that's literally the only thing that put me in the running. Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
It kind of relates, piggybacks to what you said earlier. You always wanted to be above average,
right? And
I want to say average was my mentality. Was I just want to get in, get out. Like they did not want to do anything above 50% or 60%, like the bare minimum. Yeah,
you want to do what gets you by.
Yeah. So as soon as I realized that about you, I was like, this guy's spot on. Yeah, because like you go out like not because I came from weapons too. Yeah, like we're just a bunch. Like to me, like compared to the rest of the unit, we were savages. Yeah, I was like, yo, I fit in. I fucking fit in here. That's why I didn't want to leave. And I was a 13, so I was just a driver for them. I didn't really fit in with them, but I was like, yo, this is my crew though. I fuck with them 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So whenever they told me to leave, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to second platoon. I'm like, I gotta like
be part of a regular.
Yeah, I gotta be like a real Marine now. I'm like, damn, like you guys are really proper and shit. I'm not about proper. So that was like like
You gotta hit that sir, yes, sir, on a daily now.
my pivot point where I was like, all right, I don't think the military's for me. So I knew what I had to do, but then from all my senior staff, they recognized me as very useful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's the best word if I can say. 'Cause like I did above and beyond what I needed to do. I mentored junior drivers. I mentored people before I left. I did as much as I could, whenever I could. One thing that really shot out to me when I talked to my staff sergeant, when I first got to second, when I got transferred from weapons to actual line platoon, was I sat him down and I was like, hey, what do you expect from me? What do I need to do for you? And he was like, out of his, I want to say at least 10 plus years, maybe 2 people have ever asked that question. And I was just like, really? Like, why? Because like that just seems like the right thing to do, because I haven't been in an actual platoon for my 4 years. Yeah, my entire enlistment. I'm like, I want to know what I need to do. Like, what are my requirements? What do you expect me to do? Because I'm used to another team. And then they were just like, oh, well, I don't know, just be a part, be communal, be part of the team. And I was like, okay, well, I understand that, but I need more detail. Like, tell me specifically, what do you need? And then I told him my goals of being a mentor. Like, I always knew, like, I always wanted someone to talk to, that if I needed to talk to, if I was young. And I did that subconsciously because that's just what I wanted to do. And when I left, I got like a full hug and it was just like, yo, I appreciate you. If you need anything, hit me up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I wanted to do was instill that to my junior Marine, my junior gunner, to be like, okay, let's do it. And then my VC at the time was my age. So I gave him critiques. I was like, hey, when you speak to your juniors, just speak in a less authoritative way where you're demanding, and be completely respectful, and to the point where you're like a bitch, like you're being soft or passive, but just relate. Like, you know how it is.
Yeah.
And just talk.
Right.
And that's what I told. Human. Yeah, be human. Don't be a robot that just shoots out dictator thoughts.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. So I mean, I wrote a Medium post about it, and last thing I heard from my now gunner, or my junior driver at the time, he was just like, yeah, he read it. He's kind of pissed, but he understands.
Yeah.
And now he's cool with the gunner now. And I was like, all right, bet.
No, absolutely.
Whatever.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of there's enough of treating, because like you think, all right, you join the Marine Corps, now I'm a man, like I can fucking say and do how I please.
Yeah.
But you realize in certain cases that's not it.
Right.
Just not because someone fucking treats you like less of a man.
Yeah.
But simply because
you gotta play your roles.
Yeah, a lot of decisions that you feel like should be yours aren't.
Right.
So in my mindset, the way I like to think about it is I treat my guys like men.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Like,
I've
you're
definitely
a man.
seen that. Yeah.
I don't babysit you. I'll check on you to make sure that you're alive because I care about you.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna babysit you. I don't think that you need to request permission from me.
Right.
For everything.
Tell me where you're going.
Yeah.
For one thing, that's like a
let me
real
know what's
junior.
up. Yeah, exactly. Because you remember, as a junior Marine, there's things that you could have told your superiors.
Yeah.
That you didn't feel comfortable telling them.
Right.
Right. But meanwhile, if you told them, you'd be a lot more. You would have ended up more
safe.
successful.
Oh yeah, successful.
In whatever it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just things like, if say from my driver.
Yeah.
Hey, what I'm not gonna do is do your job. I trust you that you're gonna do what your job is.
Right.
I 100% trust you.
Yeah.
And that way, and I feel like when it's done that way, you feel a lot more purpose in what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, with the fulfillment of life.
What I'm telling you, for example, in the whole crewman hierarchy, right? What I'm telling you isn't, hey, check the drives, check the diffs. It's more like, hey,
hot checks.
Are we going to break down while we're out there?
Yeah.
No, we're good. Solid.
Yeah.
Done.
You're questioning them to make them look through it themselves, so they can be responsible more.
Right. Yeah. I'm not gonna follow behind every single thing you do on the checklist. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, are we gonna break down? No, we're solid. Good to go.
Yeah.
Because that's also more efficient and less time wasting.
Yeah.
So here, Rob, here's the hierarchy of crewman level. It's driver. Normally spend like 4 years. I spent 4 years. I don't know. Tabott here.
I drove for like a year.
He only drove for a year. You became a gunner like immediately.
Yes. Well, when I got promoted, I became a gunner. Yeah.
Okay, so it's driver, gunner. So you man the weapon at second level, and then you became a VC, a vehicle commander.
Yeah.
Vehicle commander is usually at sergeant, but sometimes you can do it at corporal, depending on your
experience level,
and
how much confidence your higher ups have.
Right.
Sounds like an old war case system.
Yeah.
Well, it is the military.
Like, you ever seen Fury?
Yeah.
Every crewman thinks Fury is about them. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
No. You see it, but watch Fury, bro.
Okay. I remember all the weapons guys saw it at once. And I was like, well, that makes
Brad
sense.
Pitt and a lot of people in it.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, but that sounds like an old warrior case system, like the Roman or Greek warriors. It sounds the same.
Yeah.
Like there's a section for each part.
Yeah.
There's a hierarchy inside of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
You see that a lot of places in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
To me, that's cool because how they break down everything, but it still follows under one or many guys or whatever. Yeah. It depends.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really wanted to just circle back in terms of identity politics.
Oh, yeah.
How people think their identity should not be their personality, or what they think is not the same as who they are.
Yeah.
To the military being like, we should treat each other as humans, and how we should mentor each other and let people go through trials. Because one thing of me not being a parent is that I still want my future children to go through their shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna save them as much as I can, but then I want them to have to be able to receive the repercussions of their actions.
Absolutely.
And I think that's it. Yeah. Just those two things. Just
definitely.
What you think is not who you are, and what you do, you have to suffer the consequences, no matter what.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's
every life choice has a possibility, and you deal with it.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Right. And I think going back to what we were saying about like our lifestyles is that we don't understand social norm. And because of that, it's hard for me to relate with the future youth or the now youth, where they think that the end of the world is having a bad day, not getting like 10 likes on their Instagram post. Right. And I'm just like,
well, I don't know. It's I feel even that is a whole perspective that's shown, because we figure, since social media, all the youth thinks like that. To me, the only reason I can relate to a prime example of John's cousin so much, I can just jump in.
John's cousin?
It's John's niece and nephews.
Oh, okay.
I can warm up to them so much, or somebody, even my cousin Satchel's ages, because I always go in so therapeutic. I'm like, okay. And see like the real truth behind it, not just to label them as, okay, they all, are their main problem is social media. I always look at what's the deeper connotation behind that. And it's just like us when we were all growing up and our parents were like, oh man, they're always on those games, so they're gonna be this way. And it's just like, in our heart, we know we weren't like that.
Yeah.
So we would always fight to show, we're more like this. And I feel like that generates the same. It's just what we see in the norm, we sometimes connect to them because that's what if somebody labels them that, we all gonna be like, oh, I guess they're like that. So
Yeah.
instead of actually digging deep and being like, okay, what's really going on here? Are all of them like that? And then sometimes when I look more deeper into it, I see, oh man, they're sometimes really not connected to social media. I only use it for certain things to gain for either monetary gain, for publicity for an event. Because truthfully, I'm ecstatic about the people younger than us.
Yeah.
Because especially just jumping over to video work, seeing like all the great accomplishments they're doing, like especially at a younger age and stuff like that, and even connecting with us or older generation, be like, hey, how did y'all guys do that? I want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, this is bomb. Like I'm that's why I'm always optimistic. I mean, I get brought down to reality sometimes. That's a good thing, because if I see too much in fantasy world, I'll be like I'm in Alice in Wonderland.
Right.
But it excites me at a time, because I guess it's the way I was always thought. I'm like, all right, I always have to see the third perspective. There has to be a certain way. There's a reason why a person does this, or why did they connect to social media. And I think it's just easier to be like, they're that way. Because truthfully, I've seen you connect with the younger generation. You do it subconsciously, and it's cool. I think when you start thinking about it, that's when you're like,
Well, okay, not to get too focused on social media, because I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I completely understand. I know what exactly you're talking about. But my issue is that I want to specifically help the people I can't help. And that's my issue.
You mean?
So it's the thought of the master will come when you're ready.
Oh,
I want to be the master when they're not ready, to get them to where I want to be. I'm very impatient.
Okay. I get that.
That's
Yeah.
I absolutely. So let me tell you. So
that pushes them away.
Right.
Yeah.
But then that's my
it
issue.
does.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I have a younger brother, right? My younger brother's junior in high school, right?
Okay.
And
You post a lot about him being like a wrestling champ.
he wrestles.
Yeah.
But before that, I didn't think that my little brother was capable of being a savage.
Okay. Okay.
you know, it's because when I used to live at home, it's like you walk around and you see him. He might be playing video games all day.
Yeah.
And then one day you're like, damn, like I didn't play this much video games when I was younger.
Right.
It's like I used to play outside and sprint and play soccer for 13 hours a day.
And you connect that with
be more social.
Yeah, and I was more physical, and I was more violent, and I was more savage.
Yeah.
And then you're like, he's not like that.
He's not like me.
Yeah.
He's not part of the tribe. But he has my blood. Walk the plank.
So you're thinking like, damn, like what if I don't get him like me, and then he won't be able to survive everything that I've realized is the real world right now. You start thinking like down that rabbit hole. You're like, damn, like what if he's not prepared for what's to come because he hasn't gone through what I've gone through?
Yeah.
Right. But that's the flaw.
Yeah.
It's something I realized
Right.
is that what I went through at his age is not the same thing he's going through at his age.
Yeah.
So it's like I had to realize, like,
You'd open your mind to like, maybe he is.
yeah,
Like his perspective.
To me, he's not as rugged and whatever you want to call it. He's not a rough kid.
Yeah.
I used to get called a rough kid. Oh, you play too rough. And,
Yeah.
you come home dirty and
You're excited. You're like,
but he's not like that.
Man.
So, yeah. So you growing up the way you grew up, you're worried about him. You're like, dang, like he needs to get some dirt in his teeth.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like, no, he probably looks at me like we look at people who are older.
Yeah.
You ever looked at someone who's older and they don't know how to use a touchscreen phone and you feel sorry for them?
Yeah.
How do you feel sorry?
How do you make a phone call?
You're literally sorry for them, right?
Yeah.
But the way they see it, they're not missing out on anything.
Right.
It's kind of
They live in their world.
The same relationship I had with my brother.
Yeah.
And then I had to realize, and I'm looking at him like, damn, dog, like you're not violent enough.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in his generation, he has the tools to surpass me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he knows how to deal with the world that he's gonna experience.
Yeah.
So that's something I had to realize. it's a little bit of a mix with it though.
Yeah.
You know, because he's just like, you know, as another male figure in your life.
Mm-hmm.
When I go watch him wrestle,
Yeah.
he hates when I'm there and he loses. You know?
Because you put pressure on him.
Yeah, not even.
Or no.
I do put pressure on him, and I am guilty of that.
Right, but then he also thinks it's like exponential because you are the older brother. Like you're like a father figure to him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like to him, to me, you don't have to win. I know for a fact that you're not gonna win everything. Right. I know for you, there's some dudes that are gonna
just dog you,
put some hands on you, like you know, emasculate you. No, I haven't told him that. I want him to keep his competitive spirit.
No, but if you'd be surprised. People can still keep the competitive spirit. Sometimes what we keep with, I don't know. This is my opinion. The connotation of what will break down the competitiveness. Mm-hmm. You never know because he might just need that from you to be like, all right, you know what? I'm still gonna win, but you know maybe it'll put an ease on his brain. It's
here's something that I've learned too, and it's from a book that I read from Ryan Holiday's Ego is Enemy, and that was that if you can learn to accept the cycles of life, and the cycle of life that he brings it to is from aspiration, success, and failure. If you go from aspiration to failure, you just go back to aspiration. You have to think about the next goal. Yeah. If you go from aspiration to success, your next thing is probably going to be failure. Because at one point in your life, you will lose.
Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
To me, the misconception of that you should give that competitive spirit of always cheering him on, is a failure to the thought of accepting failure. Because in his mind, it's like, damn, he wants me to win. But in his own mind, he's like, he's not skilled enough for that opponent, whether he's states, collegiate, Olympics, whatever. No matter how high he gets, he's never going to accept that failure. But if you teach him that failure comes and goes, he will, no matter what, continue the cycle. And overall become innovative, become success through that motion. And all you're doing is just letting that cycle revolve.
No, absolutely. And I get what you're saying. The reason why I don't, voice to him that, someone's always going to be better than you.
It's not really saying that.
No. Well, that's how I perceive it as.
Okay.
The reason why I don't voice that to him is because I don't want him to think that, all right, if I lose, it's okay. Which it is. It is okay if you lose. Right. But I want you going into it as if you're going to murder this dude.
Yes. I agree
with
that. I agree with that.
I don't want you going into it thinking it's okay to lose. Yeah. Which it is. Yeah. In reality, it is. You lose. You graduate high school 10 years later. You don't even remember.
You don't forget about that.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's to the point where but when he does lose, I'll acknowledge it. Yeah. Like, hey, I saw that you did everything that you could. Yeah. Okay. But guess what? Guess what? It happens. Right. It happens. Brush it off. Yeah. You're going to wake up tomorrow and start a new day. Yeah. And this is going to be in the past. Right. You don't ever get to get this moment back. Yeah. Not to say that you could have done something better to win. But, but it's okay. You put in what you had. You gave it an honest try.
That's what I mean.
That is when very respectable.
Say that. Yeah. And because that way it'll still keep his competitive spirit, but at the same time he'll be like, okay, he's not ashamed of me that I lost. Yeah. Because you never know what
they think.
What people are thinking. Because even you can have some effect on like that. Not even younger, but older. Which I remember I found out just a few months ago. What was it? My dad thought just because I never talked to him like that, he's like, probably doesn't like me and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, no, man, I'm just like really busy. So yeah, you're taking care of my stepsister. So there's no point in calling. I was like, I just say hi once in the blue. And he was like, oh, okay. So it's like, you never know what they're thinking. So sometimes you do have to say something just to them to be like, oh, okay, they're not thinking like that. Because I know I'm guilty sometimes of just being like, they don't care.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not gonna. And I'll just walk away, and they'll tell me, I wasn't thinking that at all. And I'm like,
yeah. I can relate to this very well with ex-girlfriends. It's like, what I think they know that I love them is like, I need to still say it.
Yeah.
just so they know, because in their minds they think of like, he didn't call me today. He didn't text me. Like, I was busy at work. I don't know. I don't know. I'm doing something else. I'm going to the gym. No, I'm focusing on me right now, so I can. When I get home, I can focus on you. And then when I get home, we're just having a normal day, and you're like, oh, he's not doing anything special.
Yeah,
he's cheating on me. And I'm like,
I get that, because in your head you know that you actually love them.
Right.
They just need it shown. It's just like, or just told, because you can show it, but
then you have to say it. You have to be blunt about certain things.
You can buy me all this and do this and actually cut out time from your job to spend time with me, but you actually have to say it. It's like, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's just like,
no, absolutely. And I learned that from so I used to like train martial arts and competed at one point on the amateur level.
Yeah.
And
hey, competing.
And one of the things that I still take back with me till this day is, so, two things. Between rounds, it's say a 3 or 5 minute round.
Yeah.
And then a 1 minute rest.
Yeah.
Right. And during that 1 minute, that's where your coaches come in. They tell you what to adjust. Hey, you're doing this right. You're doing this wrong. He's doing this right. He's doing this wrong. If you do this, you're going to exploit what he's doing wrong.
Right.
So, and by no means, like, I was a terrible fighter. Terrible.
Was this full MMA or like just jiu-jitsu?
I fought one MMA fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I fought one MMA fight, lost by decision.
Okay.
And then I fought kickboxing. I fought at Nationals, WKA Nationals.
Okay. Was that at Fur Nightclub at the time?
No, that's for I think the national championship was in Richmond, Virginia, like 2014 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's, say you're a fighter, you go do that the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first round for me was like, I'm gonna throw everything and see what works. Hopefully I knock him out. See what works. So my first match at Nationals, now I'm going into this thing and I have one loss by decision in MMA, one loss by decision in kickboxing.
Okay.
Right. And then I'm going into the national competition.
And that's for MMA?
For kickboxing.
Oh, for kickboxing, okay.
Yeah. So, I get to the competition, I'm like, I'm probably not good at this. I have 2 losses. Like, I'm probably not good at this. Maybe this ain't it. And it goes back to something else, which was like, when I first ever started competing, right? I started competing with guys who were murderers.
Okay.
Like, these dudes were murderers.
Yeah.
And then, so for me, every practice was, I gotta focus on not getting killed,
surviving,
and becoming a murderer too.
Yeah.
So
maybe one day I'll get them.
Yeah.
Get that counter. Yeah, bitch.
So one thing that did is, in practice, I was always like, I'm always good in practice, solid.
Yeah.
You look good, you look technical, you look like, look good, like, as a fighter.
Yeah.
In competition, not so well. Where I don't know the mentality, like what type of
the disconnect.
Yeah, between that, somebody somewhere, some sports psychologist can probably explain that.
Yeah.
So, but long story short, I'm going into my nationals. I have 2 losses. I'm like, you know what? I did not pay $100 to come and lose in the first round. So first time ever I go out, like, give it everything. Probably like 20 seconds into the round. I dropped the dude with a knee.
Nice.
Right? And I'm on fucking cloud 9. Like, I'm
feeling it.
The round ends, like, we fucking threw everything. And I sit down and I'm looking at my coach.
Yeah.
Paul Yon out of Owings Mills. I'm looking at him like, dog,
what do I need?
Give
me my tip.
He stares at me for 30 seconds. Doesn't say a word. And then I'm like, dog, what the fuck?
30 seconds is a long time just to be
Long
staring
time.
at you.
Out of a minute.
Just silence.
Yeah, out of a minute rest. You think about the time that they spend getting the stool in, them getting into the ring, you know, and then they gotta get out before it's the minute.
Next, yeah.
So he stares at me for 30 seconds. I'm like, dog, what the fuck? You know? And then I ended up winning, right? Mm-hmm. And afterwards, I'm like, dog, you didn't. Well, he'd stare at me for 30 seconds and then give me one thing to try. You know, hey, try. When he does this, you do this. Try it. One thing. Yeah. You know, I'm like, dog, fuck. You know.
Yeah.
So then I asked him like, hey, like, what's going on? And like, I'm like, why aren't you telling me how to kill this dude?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh well. You already have a million things going through your head. Yeah. You know, like you run in contact with coaches that'll tell you, you know, as soon as that stool gets into the ring and you sit down,
they're telling you shit.
They're spitting you like 30 punch combinations and they're saying how like, hey, when you do this, you're gonna get fucked up. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Not to say that like that was ever my experience, but you have a lot of coaches who their intent is to try and give you as much help as they can in that minute.
But basically, that coach was telling you were doing everything right, and he didn't know what else to tell you.
Right, or he's like, "Hey,
you're thinking too much already.
You're fine."
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
like
you're doing everything right.
You used to clear your head. You know,
empty your mind.
Go ahead and clear your head.
It's a new round,
and then go do your thing. Yeah. You see what happens.
Right.
You know. Yeah, that was definitely an experience.
Yeah.
The number 2 thing I learned from that is like, after that minute, regardless if you're ready or not, you know, it's fucking go time.
Right.
You know, so you can still be gassed and it's still go time. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. To me, to put my 2 cents in of being on the coach perspective, to seeing exactly, I've had competitors for powerlifting in the same position that they're asking me like,
what am I doing wrong?
Well, what's up? What should I do next? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just do it.
You're fine.
Like, I'm not going to tell you shit. Just get on the platform, do what you've been doing, and compete. That's it. And it's funny to the point where when I first met my client, that I had to tell them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. Yeah. And I had to break everything down. But when it comes to the platform, it's like, you're good.
Yeah. Just you're fine.
Do your thing. Just breathe and be ready. Yeah. That's it. That's all I can say. Because at that point, it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know whatever weight I put on that bar for you, I know you can do it.
Absolutely.
And if I know you can't, I'm gonna be like, all right, we're gonna shoot.
Show me something.
We're gonna shoot for a new number. Yeah. Are you ready? If not, I can bring it back down. Yeah. I'll change the number, but it's always gonna be up to them. And that's me as a coach. And I feel like that was the same perspective. Like hearing you speak like that, I was like, this is exactly what my client's been telling me. I'm like, you're good.
You're fine.
You're fine. That's it. That's all you need to say. So like I see what you're saying with your brother.
I'll be back in a second.
Cool.
Shit.
No, but I think you might as well just end the joint.
Yeah. I don't know if we got time. Oh, well, hey, Tab, let's stay real quick. Can you do that? No.
Probably not.
All right, fine. All right.
Oh, this is the bathroom right there, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, right there. Yeah. All right, then it's a good time, Rob.
What?
I don't know. We're talking about our shit. I feel this is dope.
Yeah, this was cool.
Yeah.
Just listening was.
This is funny. Like this is maybe the second time I hit from one special guest to another. But I fuck with it.
It came out of nowhere.
I think you got the theme of this podcast. Mm-hmm. What do you think it is?
In your words?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just digging deep in yourself. I don't know. All your podcasts. So this one's about just self-development, getting out that militaristic structure. Because you had 3 guys who are very, I won't say different from the military mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we kind of conformed to it.
Yeah.
Because we knew
the idea
steps.
Of it. Yeah. But you didn't become as you say, a robot.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah.
You just use the idealism it has to nurture other young minds and even older minds to
help
them grow.
So I want to ask you too, for being not in the military, to have our mindset. Is like, what do you think is vital to tell someone who's becoming very conforming, but doesn't have individual thought? Like for the guys.
Ask them for what?
For the guys who like, I need followers because it makes me popular.
Yeah.
But why do you want the followers type of thing? You know what I mean?
I would just, to me, I always ask them questions. People are like, ask them for what though? And then why? Why do you really want the followers?
Right.
What is the one thing you're missing in your life? Like, what is the one thing that you need that for?
Yeah.
It's always. I've noticed it's always one thing missing. It's either they want that acceptance.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people I've talked to, which is cool, you can email, like people higher up who have a lot of subscribers, they always say once they get that acceptance,
yeah,
anxiety always comes very quickly because
right,
having that acceptance from so many people, it's just like, okay, now I gotta perform for them.
Right.
So it's just like they either want acceptance or they want their voice to be heard because they can talk but nobody's listening. So they have a platform now and they have a niche so people are listening.
It's a responsibility.
Yeah. Or they want the popularity because they never had it at a young age, or they had it and they wanted to keep it going.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes popularity means a lot of people.
Yeah.
Or,
What was the question, if you don't mind me?
Well, so like in summary for what I asked Rob was, I asked him, what is something you would say to someone young who's doing something for conformity? Like, my biggest example is social media. Like, why does someone want like 1 million followers? Like, what would you tell them? And I guess it's your turn. Like, what if someone like in the military too? What if that one Marine is like the kiss ass and like, I just want to rank up. I want to get my 20 years, retire, and be done with it, type of thing.
Okay, so military wise, I tell them like, hey, when you get to a certain level, the amount of respect you have and how fast you climbed up the ladder, if it doesn't intersect, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yes.
In that.
Yeah. Let's explain that.
If you're a kiss ass for your entire career, but you rank up fast.
Right.
So they're supposed to respect the rank.
Yeah.
But if they don't respect the person, prime example, if you're in garrison, there's a lot of people there to enforce you following the chain of command and things that we've determined as what's socially acceptable in the military.
Right.
Now put the same men that are under your command and put their lives in danger.
Yeah.
And remove the fact that there are people there to enforce them listening to you.
Right.
Right. Now it's primal. Do they really respect you?
Yes.
Are they going to risk their lives because they trust you wholeheartedly?
Or they're gonna like. This is where I think where we connect in terms of like setting rules or setting commands and having them respect you authentically. And if they don't respect you authentically, they're going to always doubt you.
Yeah.
And that's the guys who like, well, I think we should do this and this way and that way.
Which goes against that whole
respect, I think.
Yeah, that
respect and responsibility.
And then on top of the fact that things don't make sense a lot of times in the military.
Yes.
Which goes against, sometimes you can't question it, you just got to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And in the civilian world, I'd say, like, specifically dealing with social media, I think we gotta be able to, get back to the fact that it's not real.
Okay.
Like, this isn't real because people put the best parts of their lives on social media.
Yes.
The absolute best parts of their lives on social media.
And never the worst.
But it's
never the worst.
It's a PR effect.
Right.
Public relations. And I think that is the biggest key that everyone skews.
Yeah.
And since it's a PR thing, it's more of publicity in terms of getting attention in order to sell.
But that's why having those people that do it always get depressed or suffer a type of anxiety or mental attack.
No, but I think that is because of miscommunication with the public. Because the public sees that as a figure, whether that person is a real person or not. But deep down, that person knows that person is just a person.
That sounds like schizophrenia at the same time.
I think it's because
yes, but then it's publicity making that figure for that person, and it's not because like if someone were to get famous like a Travis Parker or not Travis Parker, is it Travis Parker? Who's the guy from Annapolis? The BMX dude.
Travis Pastrana?
Travis Pastrana, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's Travis P. But say it's Travis Pastrana. I met one of his friends. One of his friends sold me my motorcycle. And he says he goes to his house all the time. But to think of him when I was younger, I thought he was just a daredevil. He was like just balls to the wall, no rules type of guy. But then without looking into documentaries of him, I wouldn't have known that he's just a kid at heart.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But that deals with also authenticity because he's just being what he wanted to be as a kid. I mean, the fact that when people have a different persona that completely, that's not even what they were when they were younger, they're just doing it for the attention of social media. Those people always have the mental breakdown.
Yes.
Well, I think it gets lost in translation a lot. What's real and what's not real. You know, because a lot of people.
Challenge. Like
a lot of people translate things that aren't real to, you know, real human emotions and chemicals flowing through your body. You're getting dopamine because you got 300 likes, you know, and that becomes your pleasure.
Like social norm of happiness.
It's your pleasure. It's your norm.
Yeah.
But then when you get back to your regular life, which is not the life on social media, it's not the same thing. It doesn't equate, you know. So it's like we gotta even I catch myself doing it, you know. But all we do is show the best of our lives on social media,
right?
You know, we miss out on opportunities because we're trying to put it on social media to show someone that we were there. Yeah. You know, you're not experiencing the concert. Yeah. You just want to show someone that you're at the concert. Right. You know, and then you get dopamine off how many people follow you. Mm-hmm. You get dopamine off how many more people follow you than people you follow. Right. You know, and then you get dopamine off of who watches your posts. Yeah. And how many people watches your posts. But then in reality, you think about it and it's like, none of that is real. You know, it doesn't. At the end of the day,
it's not important.
Yeah, you know, you remove the social media.
What gives you a better step towards your goal, your actual goal? Yeah, and whether that's monetarily or status. And I know status is still a figure. It's an important characteristic. Mm-hmm. Like what you were talking about earlier was that you want to be able to provide. You're good, bro. You want to be able to provide for your family, so you need a certain status of wealth in order to help your family, and that's my perspective on it. To ask you a question, like a quick question, would be like, what would you say to those youth or kids, like, without the whole spiel? Like, if you could sum it up in like 2 or 3 sentences? Like, what's one thing that could really, like, break through?
I'd say...
Love yourself?
You definitely have to love yourself, accept yourself for who you are. Mm-hmm. You know, like...
Accept your truth kind of thing?
Yeah, accept your truth. The truth about you and then the truth about your situation. Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't have to be popular. You know, that's one thing. Right. And then, on top of that, you have to realize, like, what actually makes you happy. Yeah. You know, like, if all of this was gone and I still had this, I'd still be happy. You gotta
think about your bare minimum.
Yeah, you gotta lock down that one thing. Like, what is it? Mm-hmm. You know? And also tell the youth that try everything at least once. Yeah. You know? Okay. Try it at least once. Like, if you don't enjoy it, it is what it is. If you do, that might be what makes your life. Right. You know?
Yeah, I agree to that wholeheartedly. And to put in my 2 cents on it, my biggest thing was always to create a binary effect, to make a question composed of 2 things, 2 answers, whether it's yes or no. And what I think was, what's your biggest fear? And address that. Because I've asked similar questions, like you've asked, like, what makes you happy, or are you really real to yourself? Like, I asked that question to a couple people in my counseling time with my personal training, and they kind of get this blank face of, like, they're flooded with thoughts. But then if I break down and I to ask them what they fear, something hits them immediately. And it normally relates to something in their childhood. And I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
Address that. Once you address that, you're 10 steps closer to your authenticity, your authentic self. And from that, I think that's probably it. And then it's going to be like smaller. It's like a snowball effect to me, how I think of it. And when you face your biggest fear, smaller fears become smaller and smaller.
Absolutely.
And how we think about military and savagery,
Yeah.
how we think we're savage, when we think of the youth's savagery, it's like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I did that when I was in 5th grade type of thing. So it's that. And I think that's the reason why people have a hard time adjusting as not elderly, like as wise, the older, to the youth. But the youth don't see it as the older. I think I could end with that. Do you guys agree to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fear is a bigger advocate, motivator,
Yeah, to address
than
your fears.
to figure out what makes you happy.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. And then at this point, I'll be like, yo, if anybody wants to talk to you, shout out, or if anyone wants to talk to you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you probably link my social media.
Yeah, I definitely will do that. Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram.
I mean,
no, definitely.
yeah.
Well, follow me.
Yeah. But no, before
Social media is the devil.
You know? Yeah, no. So before this closes out, I'm not sure, like, whoever hears this, I would definitely like to push this out to them.
Yeah.
Right now I live in Virginia, in Hampton, Virginia, but I frequent Baltimore a lot. And so in the spring 2019, I'm going to start an initiative to teach life-saving skills to...
In what way?
In as in
CPR type of thing? Or?
CPR, first aid.
What they need,
stopping a treating, or not treating, but
cauterizing a wound.
Yeah. Stab wounds, gunshot wounds.
Oh, that's dope.
How to prevent them. That'd be cool too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of
you're giving them an outlet, so now they can take those skills and push them on to the future. So there really won't be no excuse when they say, I don't know how. And they'll say, well, remember when, what's it called, came out?
I think, so my objective is that you have a lot of, so everybody knows about Baltimore.
Yeah,
right?
It's rough.
You have, the shootings, the violence. My objective in doing this is that you have a lot of people who may get injured, gunshots or stab wounds.
Yeah, on the
just
streets.
like getting caught in the violence.
Yeah.
Right. And most of the times, the reason why they die is because the first level of care that they get is by a paramedic who gets there. You know, but how long does it take for the paramedic to get there?
Timing is everything.
All right.
Especially John Hopkins.
If you were to shorten that time by adding another level of care, like say bystander intervention, right? What if the guy who was in the area knew how to treat a gunshot wound,
right?
What if you were able to add that between the time that the event happened and the time that the paramedic got to them?
Yeah.
Can you save a couple lives? Maybe.
Yeah.
So that's my objective. And you've been around the block in Baltimore. My method is go around. People hang out on the block because it's fun. People riding bikes, hanging out. just ask, hey, do you guys want to learn how to treat a gunshot wound or stab wound? You know, see who wants to
interest.
join.
Yeah.
Right. And I've paramedic buddies, EMTs, and I'm gonna ask them to volunteer.
Yeah.
To so
that'd be cool. You can what is it? Yeah, there's plenty of ways you can attack that.
Yeah.
You can go to either a community center, or not even a community center, near Martin Luther King Boulevard. You know, they have that pavilion and everything. You can start it right there.
Yeah.
And have some live music and everything. And people be like, yo, hey, also learn this, you know?
Yeah.
And as soon as you say free, that automatically connect them right there. Yeah.
Absolutely free. You know, it's like, you kick hip pocket classes. You know? You kick a class, aka you force a class.
Hey, you, come with me.
We're in the class right now, you know. But no, that's how I'm gonna kick it. It's just find a good number of people. Hey, you guys want to learn this or that? You know, all right, cool. You know, and then we'll learn it. And I'm hoping to start spring of 19 because if you pay attention, that's when our murder rate in Baltimore starts to skyrocket.
When it gets hot.
You know, in the spring.
It's weird though. It's been
people are out.
It's been fluctuating up and down.
Yeah.
But that's only because people moving out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. I can see you doing that, man.
That's my next goal.
That's long term.
Yeah.
You could give one person that, and then even if it's one person, that could change their life, and they just spread around.
Absolutely.
It's like a virus or a drug. It just spreads. It spreads the roots and grows and grows and grows. The tree gets bigger and bigger. And that spreads roots.
One thing I think is funny though would be like if you were to literally go like walking down the block and go you and be authoritative and just be like, come with me. I have a feeling that they would.
I feel like I
got nothing to do. Okay.
I feel like it's just short of that.
Yeah.
It's more like, hey, you guys are hanging out, chilling right now. You guys want to learn how to treat a gunshot wound?
Yeah.
You know?
No, well, I don't know. I'm on the perspective of being like that super authoritative. Being like how they literally call us out in military. It's like, you, come. Okay. This guy seems so determined.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta learn. Because I've seen that actually happen.
Yeah, no,
like,
definitely.
People just, if they have a sense of fulfillment or like they want purpose in life, like, all right, this guy said, he seems so sure of himself. I'm coming.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it kind of falls into like the kidnapping thing.
Yeah.
And then not to be weird, but it's like it kind of goes hand in hand. It's like, all right.
Yeah. It was like you just forced progress onto my life.
Yeah.
You know? So that's
as long as you have good intent, like all right.
Yeah.
I mean, that is super dope. Let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll be for sure to join.
Absolutely.
We cool. I wouldn't mind helping out.
Yeah.
Real cool.
Looking to kick off spring 2019.
April, May, something around there.
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
Probably April before summer. That school starts to set out. And
Right.
School's out. Yeah. Let's do some debauchery.
Cool.
Damn.
Well, that's my piece, bro. Solid.
Hey.
I bet that. Rob, anything to say? Final words?
Nah. Hey man, just don't let anybody tell you can't do anything. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
cool. All right.
Solid.
And also, go home and make a nice pepperoni roll. That's it.
Can't go wrong with pepperoni roll.
Yeah, right?
Facts.
My pockets.
I
don't even know.
Sumo. Damn, I feel very commercial with this.
What you got?
Hey, if you want to support the podcast, go to www.sumoapparel.com. Get you some merch. Get you some Sumo Lift apparel or
just kept dying.
some catch up. Like y'all got some deep words, and I'm just like, yo, buy my merch. Support your boy. So I can keep finding people like this.
Sumo!
And that's it. That's all I gotta say.
That's what's up, bro.
All right, signing off, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry, turn off the camera.
I appreciate you coming through.
Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks for having me.
Gotta dap you up for that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, definitely. Nice meeting you, bro.
Rob coming through. All right. Deuces. Until next time.
All right. Solid.